Welcome to another video podcast from Tejada Photography. Today we're going to be photographing at a rock quarry in the Salinas Valley in California. I was shooting here the previous day but didn't pull out the video camera as it was locked up into another vehicle, and we just didn't want to take the time to go back and retrieve it. But we do have it here with us this morning for the sunrise shot. We're going to be doing a shot of some of these trucks being loaded up with some of the rock that's going to be transported out of the area. This is prior to sunrise actually breaking the surface of the hill, and we have a situation where you've got some nice color in the sky, but you know the information down below in the valley is going to be very, very dark. So as photographers, I know you've run across this situation before. If you expose for the sky, well then the foreground goes dark and such. But here I'm using some gradiated neutral density filters on the front of my lens. I'm actually using 2 of them, and I think it's an equivalent of about 3 stops if I'm not mistaken. You've got a gradiated neutral density, which I'll put the neutral density portion of this filter into the sky and then line it up with the top of the hillside so the clear section is down, exposing down below in the quarry area itself, thus reducing the contrast range between the brightness of the sky and the information or the lack of sunlight down below in the valley. And with those neutral density filters, you can see here that we're able to lower the contrast in the sky and still open up the information down by the rocks and the trucks being loaded up and such. Now there was this beautiful oak tree that had toppled over on the top of this hill, which I thought would give me a great vantage point. And I set up some surveying equipment with 2 operators, and I was going to use this tree here as a platform to photograph, as it gave me enough elevation to look down onto all the conveyor equipment at this quarry. It's a very small quarry, and of course the client would like to make their quarry look as large as possible. So by being up here in the tree, I'm able to get at such a vantage point that I can showcase quite a bit of the quarry itself behind the activity we're going to place in the foreground. And you know, we've got this early morning light here. I'm directing some certain positions that I want them in and trying to get some sort of pleasant composition that will work well for me. Now with these large oak trees, they've got large limbs and such, and I believe actually in the photograph I'm going to have to end up retouching just one little section off the right hand side. I'll go ahead and let the audio run so you can hear the dialogue I have with the 2 models.
Aaron, can you walk over to the disc there and reach your hand up? I'm not Aaron, I'm sorry, Omar. Aaron, stay back where you were, just leaning there. And you're reaching up towards the disc like you're making a tighten up. There you go, just like that's fine. Just like that.
You can see here on the right hand side of the frame some limbs of the oak tree which will eventually be taken out. The next series of shots were done from the back of a pickup truck. I used an 80 to 200 millimeter lens in order to get some compression of the conveyor belts in the background.
Okay, we're going to change our position now.
Shooting corporate assignments like this, I'm not dealing with professional talent at all. These are regular people doing their normal job, and it's a rare occasion for them to be photographed. So it's important to put these models, as I call them, you know, at ease, and to show them exactly what you want or expect of them. You know, they don't even think about, well, they're not, number one, they're not usually very comfortable with being photographed, and they don't know what is expected of them. So it's your job as a photographer and art director, if, you know, in my case I'm sort of an art director with the camera, setting up shots that are believable, as though somebody had walked into the scene and caught this activity taking place. It's very, very important to communicate to your models what you're expected of them. You want to find out exactly what is believable. You might inquire, I mean, if you're not familiar with certain duties of individuals that you're photographing, ask them, said, you know, this would be a really neat shot. Would it be believable that you'd be doing this sort of thing? Or could you see yourself doing this or that? And, you know, with their input, they say, you know, I wouldn't be doing that, but I very typically do this sort of thing. And then all of a sudden you find yourself approaching a new photograph because of some sort of input that your model has given to you. So, you know, it's very important to explain to them that I want you to be comfortable looking out in a certain area, maybe your hand writing on the tab. Here, you know, your legs are not quite, I think from my position here, your legs are going to be seen as one. Let's put one leg out in front of the other. Stand here very relaxed. I want you to be extremely comfortable here, blah, blah, blah. You know, so you're trying to put them at ease and involve them as much as possible. I also use the back of the camera, as you'll see later at the end of this video here in just a few moments, showing them the back of the camera so they can actually see what they look like. So from my vantage point up on this truck, I've got compression with an 80 to 200, and you bust them up a little bit with talking and joking with them, and you can get some very, very nice shots this way. But again, it's so important to communicate to your models. They're not professionals. They're just regular people, and if you can get them on your side to befriend them in such a way that they come up with some ideas for you as well, and it's everybody involved, and they have a good time doing it. And when they see the results like these, they are just so pleased to see the images of themselves. It's a great experience for everybody, and try to get your models involved always. Hope you enjoyed this, and we'll look for another one.